You know, they say, do what you love to do, and you'll never have to work a day in your life. Unfortunately, I have to do this real quick because I gotta be to work here in a little while. So in the meantime, let's just go inside the farm and see what's going on in the middle of a boysenberry festival. Spring break! So they did start opening up the south lot on Crescent. So that's gonna be open for probably, I'm assuming till the end of summer, right? Maybe. But that's open again if you want to look for an alternative parking area. The hotel still doesn't have the logo up on the top. However, they are pretty much done with this front facade here. They got the rock work all done up on the fireplace there. Looks like the lighting's all situated, taken care of. And the front little drive-up turnaround area looks amazing, as we knew it would. So at some point, they're gonna reopen this front part again, probably when they finish the inside of the entryway. Just that little room in between the lobby and the front doors here. And then we will have our beautiful KNOTT Hotel ready to go. Maybe a new sign here too would be in order, you'd think, right? We're gonna be opening the gates at 9:30 and letting people ride Ghost Rider before the park technically opens at 10 o'clock. Ooh, an awful lot of people here at 9:45 in the morning. Big line that goes all the way to basically the bakery to get into the front gate. So either there's a stall up there or just a lot of people trying to get all up in this. So it looks like spring break has officially arrived here at Knott's Berry Farm. So the key now is kind of hold off for that first 30 minutes or so before the park opens. Get there about 10:30 or so. You'll miss that whole pile up at the front gate and at the line. So it's important to have these key factors embraced now. And I wanted to take a second before all that riffraff gets filtered out in the front gates there to come back over here to the seedy underbelly, the backside of Knott's, and just see what's still back here. It looks like the same things, the track for Tender Paw, and then with the fancy Zemperla wrapping around it for the Happy Swing here, and then remnants of Montezuma back there in the corner. So this is all still over here. However, if that's the only piece that's left, or the only pieces, those are the only pieces that are left from Montezuma, makes you wonder where they put the rest of it. That's a great question, Josh. You should ask somebody that actually knows a thing or two about this stuff. All right, so they're just finishing up the national anthem now. So we're gonna head over and see how fast we can get in the park today. It's 10 a.m. on a Monday. Let's see if we can do it a little faster than we did last week. Probably not, because last week was not nearly as crowded. But now that spring break has officially started down here in Buena Park, let's see how long it's gonna take before we either bake to death in the front gate oven or actually get inside the park. Extension to the cauldron's looking pretty nice too, if I must say so myself. Ah, big truck! So the line from in front of the marketplace has gone down significantly, but the lines in front of the park now are long. Oh boy, I don't know if I'm ready for this. I didn't drink enough water. There's a lot of chaos over here in this corner here once you get past the security gates too. There's just a lot of people that just kind of stand around waiting for the rest of their party or whatever, so make sure you get around that. Gotta make sure you get around that. It gets crowded over here. It looks like they were ready for this. We got like every gate open. So we're gonna get in here pretty quick, I think. Not have to bake too long. Let me just say this. For whatever issues Knott's may have operation-wise in some parts of their park, nobody's perfect. They get you through those front gates, man. If it's a busy day and they're planning for it and they're ready for it, you will fly through those gates. I got through, it's barely 10:15 now. So I got through that whole thing in 10 minutes. Easy peas. Let's go check out Camp Snoopy. There's Airmail's new spread. Who knows how long that's gonna take though. Across from the theater. The theater, it looks like they started, it looks like they're almost done laying all that rebar. I know they, people have, been able to ride the stagecoach the last couple weeks. From what I've seen, it looks like they're gonna finish laying this rebar. They're still laying it, it looks like, but they're gonna finish laying the rebar and then probably pour the concrete. The stage is still kind of at a minimum. I don't know if they're gonna run a faux job over the front of the stage and just keep the kind of the little structure that they have now, or if they're gonna tear that down and do something completely new. Whatever it is, it's starting to finally kind of take shape. It's in the actual like construction phase as opposed to the destruction phase, if that makes any sense. I don't know.
That doesn't make sense.
So from the looks of it, it looks like they're gonna keep the same path for the train. But I'm sure now we're just at the point where we're waiting for them to get this new track in so that they can lay it down. And then obviously, you know, the rain has kind of put a little bit of a halt on some stuff, but they're at the point now to where, you know, they move real fast and then they gotta wait. Hurry up and wait. That's the mantra, right? And I mentioned in the past when they first announced that they're going to relay this entire landscape, this is what I'm probably the most excited for, is this to be completely reimagined into the new meet and greet area. They obviously, I'm assuming that because they're just it's gonna go quick, what they're thinking. I don't know how quick. I'm expecting this whole area to be behind walls probably as soon as Tenderpaw gets finished. And then this will be probably the last thing that they do. Again, I don't see it being done by Memorial Day, but it sure would be nice, right? Sure would be nice. And also real quick, if you're familiar with the history to Camp Snoopy, you remember that there used to be a bridge that connected the top of this waterfall area all the way across to the little lookout point on the other side. But if you come down by the barrel bridges, you'll see these little pipes, these little tubes that stick out on either side. There's two here, and then there's two up there toward the top there. Those were the pillars that held the bridge up. So it's funny, they never actually they just cut the piping when they took the bridge out, but they never actually removed these parts. They just left them here because they ain't bothering nobody, and they could be used as a nice little seat real quick for the kids.
The book can also be a hat.
Tenderpaw, yeah, they're still, well, it looks like they're just moving dirt around back there, as they do. But most of those base for the pillars for them to go vertical are pretty much laid. If you look around the backside, I mean, they pretty much have that all ready to go. It's just a matter of time, I guess, before they bring the pipes up and start building the actual coaster, right? This is probably, for the most part, probably going to be, if you're facing it, going to be the one side of the ride, and then the other side will be on the other side of the waterfall there where they're breaking up the back portion of that area.
Great work, detective.
This is it. They're still moving. This will probably, this has to be done by Memorial Day, right? It's got to be. If you look at the Huff and Puff area, they've got that whole thing kind of cleaned out now, and now it's starting to make more sense. Looks like they're gonna move the track around the right side of that little tiny barn. So that barn's gonna stay, I'm assuming, otherwise they would have probably torn it down by now. And they're gonna go around the right side of that barn. They're working on the other side of it right now. You can see there's a bulldozer, it looks like, that's digging up dirt back though. So they'll still, yeah, see, they're still leveling out the whole area. Very cool. Also, they started, they took away all the concrete that was on the base of the Ferris wheel now. So now it's just dirt back there. So they're probably gonna start prepping that whole foundation to bring over the Happy Swing. That'll be a real quick turnaround, I think. As soon as they get the concrete laid and dried, this shouldn't take too long at all. Just like every time you walk into Fiesta Village from this side, you're getting like played into the area by like a cool mariachi band. It's just kind of, you're like the head of a parade. Monty's in the same state. They took the pieces away and they're just kind of waiting now, I guess, to fix them and bring them back. I haven't heard much since they took a lot of those pieces down, and they haven't taken any more since the noticeable pieces were taken from the spikes and the loop. So as of right now, the story remains the same. Monty will be back obviously in 2025, but what's it gonna look like? Inquiring minds just gotta know. Oof.
Swing and a miss.
All right, moving on. Find me a nicer area in this whole park. Especially one that's playing this knockoff Mayan version of Marilyn Manson's Beautiful People. It's about time this dog gets the love that he's due. For the first time in a while, right? There's an actual line to get their picture taken with Snoopy at the Boardwalk Ballroom. KNOTT, you've only got like 7 days to get this done, get this rolling. I don't know what's happening now. I guess just waiting for whatever needs to be done on the inside. Everything else seems to be done out here anyway. From the very outside looking in, I can kind of judge that it should be open within the week.
Perhaps.
As usual, it's kind of quiet back here in the back corner. Accelerator was at like 20 minutes, but that's only because they're still running one train. The revolutions between trains is still fairly long. So if you get in line now at like 10:50, you're probably riding the 4th or 5th car that comes up. So So you got to sit through 3 or 4, 5 maybe to get on. Because it holds quite a few, but there's still only one train for some reason. I don't know why, but hopefully more in the future. Here's something kind of cool. There's a large group of people in the Roaring Twenties area at 11 o'clock in the morning. You don't see this very often, but it all looks like a mass exodus. It looks like they're all leaving as soon as I get in here. Was it something I said, guys? Did I eat something weird? What's happening? I haven't done this in a while, so I'm hoping that they don't remember me, but they probably will. It's me again.
We ain't doing no business today, so spray 'em. Ollie, get back to playing them 88s.
At least they were up front about it this time. They didn't make fun of me, call me names, or try to like trick me in any way. So the guy's he's been working on his social skills, and I think he's gotten a lot better. That being said, I will be back. So I completely forgot to mention, like weeks ago, that in the OC Register they had an article saying that KNOTT was going to open in May or June a new contactless convenience store, which is like one of those little grab-and-go things, similar to the I think it's called the Quick 6 at Magic Mountain, where you just use your credit card to go in, you take stuff, and then they charge you when you take out. But it's going to be right here, where this little pad is. But we'll have to wait and see. The one at Six Flags does fine. I'm still curious about the technology because it uses like cameras to follow you around and stuff, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's about time they put something there. It's been empty for years. See, this is what I mean about they should move Knott's Preserve to the Walter Knott Theater, and this should just be the pie eating contest. They're doing it at 4 p.m. anyway. Just do it again at like 8 and do it twice. Nighttime pie eating under the lights? Yeah. Pony Express. Oh boy. If you really are curious to learn about how the boysenberry came about, it is an interesting story. I'm not going to really get into it here, but that's in Town Hall. If you're curious, it's going for another couple weeks. Again, interesting story for sure. What do you got here? Ghost Town? Not so ghost towny. Lots of people here making their way to the back. A line of ghost riders all the way into the cave. But that should not surprise anybody. If you want to ride it, you got to be here for the long haul. It's also been a while since I've seen the line to guest services this long. But I mean, that kind of comes with the territory of having a lot of people in the park. So if you need to get into guest services for anything, be prepared for this wait also. Before I go anywhere though, I'm thirsty. I need to get a boysenberry Sprite. Perfect every time. So the plan was to go around and do stuff and then get food around like 11:15, 11:30. But oh man, those food lines are a little too daunting for me. Maybe next time. Also, another thing I wanted to mention was they have all the stuff from the California store that used to be in the front of the park at the entrance. It's all back here in the Emporium now. So it shares with Department 56 and all the Emporium stuff. All the Vans and Billabong, Quicksilver, Roxy, all the surf stuff that used to be in that store is all here now. It's still around. You didn't lose it. Oh man, but they got the wiring techs in the warehouse. And there's a little rewiring going on in there. Awful lot of cars over here. They started doing something. Maybe soon we'll hear something. It's kind of weird leaving the park this way. I haven't done it in such a long time. I feel like I'm sneaking out the back. Anyway, now it's time to get back to dad duties. Go pick up the kids and do all that. So until we see you in the next park, which I believe will be Universal, catch y'all on that flippity floop flop flip flop flippity flop.